Hello everyone. Today, first YouTube video, something I'm going to do for a lot of people because I've noticed it's not out there is putting a video up about the Edge Evolution CTS3 GM gas. I'm driving a 2015 Tahoe I bought last year. It's alright. As for the AFM, what I did is when I initially bought it, I bought a Diablo Sprint um, S1000 to disable AFM, and then I also bought a Pedal Commander PC65. The AFM disabler worked very well, but the Pedal Commander, it was alright for the most part, except for every now and then it would throw a check engine light for a pedal voltage error, along with put the vehicle in lit mode. And sometimes they do when I'm driving, sometimes it wouldn't. It was very finicky here and there. And then recently, I got the Edge CTS3 and did a little tune to the vehicle itself. One thing I did find is the tuner itself is it does both. It allows you to adjust your throttle position to advance it, give it a boost. It also allows you to disable the AFM slash displacement on demand. So it's for the 1999 to 2016 GM vehicles. This is a flex fuel Tahoe, and I did notice that after putting it in the extreme tune with a full tank of flex fuel, very noticeable. So I did the DoD AFM disable, boosted the throttle, did the throttle boost to 100%. I have noted, and I did the extreme tune customized with the firm transmission shift, being that this vehicle has 113,000 miles on it. After a year, I've put almost 20,000 miles on it after owning it for a year. For the most part, I was very skeptical about the Edge to begin with. I recently got a Duramax last year that came with an Edge CTS2. So this is the reason why I went with Edge. When I first bought the vehicle, I bought a Diablo Sport, Diablo Trinity, whatever it was. It wouldn't communicate with the ECM. It wouldn't do anything. Pretty much $600 that I had to return. So that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for tuning. But when after getting the Duramax and having the CTS2 and the Duramax and how well it plays nicely, that's why I went with Edge again for the Tahoe. It's the 5.3 liter Tahoe. Flex fuel works very well. The tune itself, if you put it in the higher tunes, you have to run the 93 octane. Obviously, you can see the extreme is what I currently have it in. Allows you to tune just that. You can also skip that and just go to transmission firm, shift tune. You can also do a hard shift tune, modify stock, go back to engine tune. So you can also just modify the stock tune on the ECM itself. So you can do the ECM or TCM, either one. You can modify the engine without doing the transmission, or do the transmission without doing the engine. The gauges are pretty nice. It allows you to query the vehicle. So when you do custom gauges, you double tap the gauge if you want to change what it is, and then you can do advanced PIDs, and it will query the vehicle to tell you what you can choose from. And as for the 2015s newer, there's a lot to choose from. My biggest thing was the alcohol percentage. So I recently put in E85. I had like barely a quarter of a tank of a regular premium. So right now I got about 67% ethanol in there. For the most part, I have noticed a very noticeable difference switching out from the Diablo Sport Sprint disabler and the Pedal Commander to this. I have noticed better fuel economy even with the E85. I get better mileage. The between premium regular gas and E85, I'm getting better gas mileage, noticeable more horsepower and torque, very noticeable. It's not snap your neck, but it definitely puts you in the back of your seat. I would recommend this for the Tahoes. When I initially got the car, I called several tune places that sold tuners, and a lot of people told me that there isn't a tuner out there for the 2015 Tahoe due to a certain that 2015 year alone they had issues, and that's why a lot of tuners don't work with the 2015. That's why my Diablo tuner, when I got it, didn't work. It was pretty much garbage, but this, it works. It tunes the vehicle, it tunes the transmission. I've noticed smoother ride. I've noticed the engine is smoother. Everything is overall smoother. The only thing modified on this vehicle is it has a Canadian cold air intake that it came with, and it has a dual battery setup, which I'll do a video later on about doing the dual battery. It does come with a second tray for the batteries, so that was the easiest part, is you're not having to try to locate and find the spot to put a second battery. You just get the kit and the battery hold down, and you can drop it in and wire it up. It took me about 6 hours to do with all the correct parts that I needed. But yeah, Edge CTS3 GM gas, noticeable different. I do know that GM did release the specs when running regular gas to E85. You get a noticeable power gain. You go from 355 torque to, I think, 355 horsepower to about 380, and you go from about 380 to, I think, a little over 400 in torque. I'd have to look it up. And then you put the extreme tune from the CTS3 into that, and you're looking at another 15 horsepower possibly. It would be nice to dyno tune this just to see what it's putting out with the highest mode. So yeah, for everyone driving the 2015 Tahoes, 2015s to 2020s, I guess, recommend CTS3 in-cab tuner for the GM. Overall, noticeable, way better handling, way better transmission shifting. The engine even feels smoother. When it comes to RPM, when you watch the RPM, it idles smoother. Even cruising, when you're cruising, smoother. Passing, phenomenal. It engages the gear quickly, and it moves along. So, if anyone has any questions, drop them in the comments.